it. Happy amazing Monday, everyone. I am Dr. Sharon, educator, author, and entrepreneur, and I am just elated to be here tonight. Oh my goodness. And boy, do we have a treat for you. As always, our mission is to support, connect, develop, and highlight entrepreneurs on their grind. And tonight, it is no different. In the spotlight this evening is Miss Itika Watkins. She is the owner of Professional Bookkeepers, LLC, a limited liability company headquartered in Michigan. She is a graduate of the Universities of Michigan and Phoenix and has worked in public and private accounting for over 10 years. She works closely with nonprofit organizations as well as for-profit businesses. She is responsible for all aspects of accounting, including processing payroll, accounts payable, accounts receivable, producing monthly financial statements, and management oversight. And it is with great pleasure that I welcome to the spotlight, Miss Itika Watkins. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to come out here and be with you today.
Absolutely. It is my delight. It really is. And so I've just shared a good bit about who you are and what you do, but please take this opportunity to share a little more about who you are and a little more about your business.
My God. Well, I am thankful again for the opportunity to come out here and be with you guys on the Grind Network. I'm a child of God, number one. I'm a servant. I'm a worshiper. I'm a wife and I'm a mother. I only have one child and I'm a business owner, probably like many of you out there in Facebook land. But I am definitely an accountant. This is my gifting. This is something that I'm called and burdened to do. Matter of fact, my gifting is administration and helps. And so those are the areas that I actually work in my business. I've been a corporate accountant for more than 15 years. And I started actually as a low-level employee, fresh out of college. And I literally worked my way up through corporate America, trying to be the best accountant that I could be. But I was pulled into the area of wanting to help small business owners because they are the ones that have the biggest challenge financially. And a lot of it stems from the inability to be able to manufacture or to produce financial results that are proven through an accounting system. And so that's where I feel like I'm able to help small business owners.
That is awesome. And I see that you actually started this company in 2005. So you've been doing this for a while.
I've been doing
yes, and you've been doing this full time, or?
Yes, but so I've been doing it full time for the last 3 years. I actually came out of corporate America, I want to say 2015 or so.
Yes.
That was the last position that I held corporately. And that position came about really as one of my launch freelance opportunities that was huge and large for me. And I really hated to leave because I left a minority-owned company, and they were a good company owned by women. They grossed over $30 million in revenue. They wanted for me to be an employee, and I tried it. See, this is what's important. It's important that you know what you should be doing, because I actually did become their employee, but I was pulled in a different direction. And so I was able to help them because their controller ended up dying. So that's how I actually came into my role there.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh my goodness, that you are able to do that. So let's talk bookkeeping, small business owners. It's really, in my work with especially emerging entrepreneurs, that is one of the aspects that they tend not to invest in. Talk to us a little bit about the importance of really having your books in order from the beginning.
The main thing is tax season, right? So this is the time of season. April the 18th is the deadline. You know, I got to put that out there. But this is the main time of the year that people are trying to organize their financial records, be it for themselves as a self-employed individual, be it as a partnership or a partner in a partnership, or even as a corporate entity. And a lot of people struggle with it. And the main reason that they do is because they don't have an accounting system. They don't have the proper systems in place. And this is so vitally important, because if you're unable to prove your revenue, or if you're unable to state clearly what your revenue is, it's largely possible that you don't know what your expenses are. And you do want to have some type of deduction, if you have any, to be able to minimize your tax liability. But that's the challenge for most small business owners, is that they don't have a way to be able to report accurately what it is that they generate in their businesses, whether it is a true loss or whether it is a true profit for them.
So one of the things also that we hear often is that you're able to take a loss for 3 years. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. That's accurate. You can even go beyond there, but you want to be careful when you take a loss in your business, because you don't want to be considered a hobby. You don't want for the Internal Revenue Service to say, okay, so you're operating at a loss for 5-7 years. This here is a hobby. This is not a business, because what it looks like is that you're just saying that you have a business, really, and really you're just, putting a whole bunch of stuff, because we don't know, because we're not providing attestation services, right? So really an individual is reporting that they have a loss, and that adjusts their total gross salary down. Wow. Or their wages down.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. So talk to me a little bit now about, and so again, I know a lot of people don't separate as small business owners. Again, that's my space, working with startup entrepreneurs, emerging entrepreneurs. And one of the things that I talk to them often about is really having that separate account, that financial business account versus your personal account. And you should not intermingle. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, that is a fear for a number of people. I don't know. People are conspiracy theorists. People have their own personal reservation about putting money into a bank. And sometimes it's just they don't know any better, and so they don't do it. But in most cases, 9 times out of 10, if you are an entrepreneur, you need to have at least 3 accounts. Especially if you have employees, you definitely want to have 2 accounts, right? So you want to have a business account, you want to have a payroll account, and if you can save, then you want to have a form of a savings account for your business. It is important for you as an entrepreneur that you have these different business accounts, because if for no other reason, if you're ever audited, then everything that you have personally is now open to interpretation by the Internal Revenue Service. And so just keeping your funds unmingled is the best way to be as an entrepreneur. Plus, when you invite a bookkeeper into your business, you don't want for them to see everything that you do. They don't need to know your alimony payments. They don't need to know, your child support payments. They don't need to know anything but what's related to your business. And by having separate accounts, at least one, you'll mitigate that. They'll be privy to only what they need to see as it relates to your business.
That's really powerful. And so how does one, entrepreneurs here listening, viewing this tonight, and they're thinking, oh, wow, she's talking to me. What's the process of really securing you or a bookkeeper? Like, is there a consultation? Do we go, do you start there and then see what the needs are? What is that process?
So you can connect with me a number of ways. Obviously, you can give me a phone call. I do have my own business page on Facebook. It's at P Bookkeepers on Facebook. And the number is 888-806-1503 if you wanted to call me directly. But second to that, you can always schedule a consultation with me for us to have a 15-minute consultation, and that's at bit.ly/I need a bookkeeper. When we have that consultation, what we're talking about is what you know about your business. See, the one thing that I find out from most entrepreneurs is that they really don't know their own business. They know they sell stuff, but they really don't know their own business. And as an entrepreneur, it's important that you know all aspects of your business, and that's what we're primarily going to find out when we talk.
Great. And so again, with the new tax laws that will come into play next tax season, what can entrepreneurs do now to prepare for that?
If you don't have bookkeeping, you definitely want to incorporate bookkeeping as a part of your business practice because you want to be able to account for all of your business deductions as well as the reportable revenue that you have for your business. But even if you have just individuals that are on your scope or on your broadcast tonight, you want to be able to bookkeep your life, okay? You want to be able to take inventory for the things that it is that you do. Monetize everything, your travel to work, your travel to your nonprofit organizations, your travel to volunteer places, your travel to different places. If you're consulting and you actually go to on-site locations, your giving, how you give, how much you give. You'd be so surprised in the ways that we can actually monetize what it is that we do. But for the purpose of entrepreneurs, you want to be sure that you're able to account for your deductions in your business, and you want to be able to report all of the reportable revenue that it is that you have. And you can't do that without a bookkeeping system.
Wow, I love that. And so what about those entrepreneurs that are also part of nonprofit? Because you have a lot of entrepreneurs that are either starting nonprofits or on boards of nonprofits. How does that separate, or how is that work as far as bookkeeping goes?
It's the same. The process for bookkeeping will be the same whether you're an entrepreneur, self-employed, whether you're a contractor, whatever the formation, even as a nonprofit organization. And more so, it's important for a nonprofit organization because you have a responsibility to the public to keep your books and your records all together. You'd be surprised. Your shareholders and individuals that are your contributors and your donors, they want to know how well it is that you're performing. It affects the money that they even give you, even for your funders. And so it's very, very paramount that you get into the process of bookkeeping for your nonprofit organization. As a nonprofit organization, you also have the responsibility of reporting back information to the Internal Revenue Service. And your reporting is strictly an informational return. But you'd be surprised to find out how many nonprofit organizations do not report just simply an informational return because you're exempt. You're exempt from taxes. So all you're doing is informing the Internal Revenue Service of what it is that you're missing. The danger in that is that many of these nonprofit organizations are formed by people just like you or I. You have a mission and you have a cause. So you have something for profit and you have something for non-for-profit, right? And you're driven by a mission and a cause. And if you generate any level of income and you have failed to report that reportable revenue to the Internal Revenue Service, even as a nonprofit organization, what will happen is you'll be revoked as a nonprofit organization. And then the income that you've generated over those reporting years that you didn't report becomes taxable to you. Well, that defeats the purpose of being a tax-exempt organization. Right? And so you don't want that burden as an executive director. Maybe you don't have a full board, but as an executive director, especially as a founding operator for a nonprofit organization, you want to protect yourself with bookkeeping.
Wow, I tell you, I can definitely feel the knowledge and the passion. And that's really, when I was reading the information about you, that was really one of your reasons for going to start this business, is to help the business owner, really make sure that everything is in order. Talk to me a little bit about your passion for accounting and bookkeeping.
So my passion really is for entrepreneurship. I started as an entrepreneur young in life when I was about 16 years old. My mother and father actually were entrepreneurs. And so that birthed that entrepreneurial spirit, I believe. But I've always had a love for numbers. Numbers tell a story. And so if you're looking for your business to tell a story for you, you can always find it in your numbers. Sometimes those stories will be very, very bad. And sometimes those stories will be, oh my God, so good. But numbers tell a story. I've always loved math. And so I think that my love for math is what really drove me to becoming an accountant. And I really need to give homage where it's due, because my mentor is, he's based out of Michigan. He's a certified public accountant. His business is National Tax Services, and he mentored me into the role that I have right now as an entrepreneur. And I mean, he let me sit up under his tutelage and learn from him. And so it really, really sparked something in me. I'm able to tell a story for you. I'm able to define what it is that you do well in your business by looking at your information. And so that's what I love the most about it.
So you're in Michigan. We have entrepreneurs everywhere. Your clients are everywhere. They're not just Michigan based, correct?
That's correct.
So how does that work with the different state laws that vary from state to state? Are you just abreast of all of them once you get a client from that particular state? So how does that work?
I have to take the time to learn not only the state codes, because they are different, and sometimes you even are burdened with local reporting. But as I add new clients, I just have to take the time to, one, learn the industry that they're in, the business that they are in, as well as their state and their local. I have to explore it and do the research. But I'm not stuck in being in Michigan, mainly because I provide a cloud accounting solution. So that means that I can work with anybody in the 50 states.
Okay, that is awesome. Oh my goodness. So let me ask you then about tax preparation. Is that part of your service? Is that an add-on in addition to the bookkeeping, or that's not something that you offer?
That is something that I do offer, whether you're an individual or as an entrepreneur. It is a part of the value add service if you're my actual client, though.
Okay, but you don't just do taxes.
I do taxes.
Oh, you do? Okay, that's awesome. I love that. Oh my God. So what suggestion, what tips, what information can you leave with the entrepreneurs out there who are struggling, don't have a bookkeeper? We know that they need to get one, but what can they do in the meantime? Let's say they can't really invest in a bookkeeper, and I guess you're probably saying you really cannot afford not to, but what if, right? So what can they do in the meantime until they reach out and hire a bookkeeper?
So there are several options that not only myself, but I know that other entrepreneur accountants provide to small business owners. You may not be at the level where you need for someone to work within your business every single month or every single day even, but you can easily find an accountant that will work with you on a quarterly basis, because you want to become very, very familiar with your own business and your own numbers. And so I would say that if you can find someone that will work with you on a less frequent basis, would be far better than not having an accountant. I use QuickBooks of choice. They service about 46 million entrepreneurs in the United States. They have other competitors that are international and abroad, but definitely for the United States, it is probably one of the most optimizable and user-friendly accounting solutions that you can find. And so even if you could just get yourself an accounting system such as that, and then bring on a bookkeeper to help you, would be far better than doing it by yourself.
Wow, this has really been enlightening. It really has. And so I know that you gave your information earlier in the interview, but please give it one more time. How can people reach out to you, and also the information if they want to get that 15-minute free consultation?
Absolutely. So thank you guys for listening in. I really appreciate you sitting out here and being in the room with me. Guys, if you want to know more about me, scope out with me in the mornings at 6:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I usually do Facebook Live as well as Periscope, just so you can become more familiar with the information that I provide. But if you want to contact me directly because you're ready to move forward in your business, whether you be extremely small or extremely large, connect with me at bit.ly/I need a bookkeeper. That is a 15-minute consultation, and it's you telling me the problems and the holes and the gaps that you have in your business, especially as it relates to your financial infrastructure. And if you'd like to connect with me by email, you can connect with me at info@prof-bookkeepers.com.
I tell you, this has been such a delight, and I just appreciate you taking the time to give all of this knowledge, and just let our entrepreneurs know that we definitely have to have our finances in order. So in order to make money, we need to be able to know what's going on in our business. So thank you so much. I so appreciate you.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate being out here in the room with you.
Absolutely. And guys, this again has been the Grind Entrepreneur Network Spotlight with my guest, Miss Itika Watkins, I tell you, wonderful accountant. Please reach out to her if you are in need of bookkeeping or any accounting needs. You can follow the Grind Entrepreneur Network on all social media platforms at Grind E Network. So thank you guys, and as always, keep grinding.